Hello and welcome to my first video of Medieval Engineers. This is the first time that I ever started up the game, so there will be a few bugs and glitches and other kinds of stuff like that. There is one thing where if you push F1 when you first start up the game, then you can't open your G menu and stuff. I had a couple of those issues and things like that, and there's also other issues where you can't walk through archways and stuff like that. So I hope you enjoy the video because it is quite enjoyable for me, I think. So I'm going to skip forward to when I had my G menu working, and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do today. So now that I've got my G menu working, let's have a look at some of the blocks that we've got. We've got most of the basic building blocks that we've seen in the release video and stuff like that. One of the reasons why some of the blocks that we've seen aren't actually in yet are because they either haven't got textures on them, or they're replacing the textures, or other things like that. You know, they're trying to fix animations and stuff with them. That's the reason why they're not all in the game. They are technically in the game, but they're just hidden from us, so we can't use them, which is completely understandable because there's no point letting people use broken blocks or unfinished blocks, you know, if you're gonna fix them very soon anyway. So that's the reason why there's not every single block that we've seen in the release video, but I hope you understand because I perfectly understand why they're doing it. So, you know, that's the reason why. But, you know, once again, it's really easy to build in this. You know, you can build stuff inside stuff, which I really enjoy. Obviously there's no furniture in yet either, but there was furniture in the release video. It's the same thing with that, and I think they're adding more furniture as well, so, you know, we're going to get more stuff. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to build a castle or a guard tower or whatever the hell I feel like. I'm not sure what it's going to be yet, but I hope you enjoy it. So let's skip forward to when I start doing that, and let's have some fun. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to turn this little bit of a wall, I guess, that they've given us to show us how you can create a wall and stuff, and turn that into my own little castle kind of thing, or a lookout post or whatever. It's just going to basically let me see what kind of the building mechanics are and stuff like that. And if you're starting out in Medieval Engineers, or you're buying this on the actual release date, not on the 24-hour pre-release date, then, you know, this is the first thing that I'd advise. Go to one of the worlds that they've created something on, and either build up from what they've built, or, you know, add to something that they've built, because it'll give you an idea of how all the building mechanics work and stuff, and then it'll slowly ease you into the new building mechanics. Because at first I was kind of out of my element, especially with the smaller building blocks, because I didn't really understand how you're supposed to use those or how you're supposed to make moving objects. But, you know, I'm getting used to it now, so yeah, that would be my number one tip for when you're first starting out building. Just build onto something else that they've already built, so it gives you an idea of how things actually work. I do also like the voxel hands that they've put in. You know, they've got the same shapes as they've got in Space Engineers. Obviously they were made for this first, so, you know, everything works well, it all works nice and smoothly. One issue that I did have was when I was actually making this, they had the bug in where you couldn't walk through the archways for some reason, but they fixed that now. You know, it's not a problem. So yeah, I'm just going to speed through this and talk whenever I think there's something important to be said. Okay, so I didn't show you the whole construction of this because the video was going to get to an hour to an hour and a half long, even if I sped it up, so you know, it was just getting kind of ridiculous. So I've cut it down to what it is, and I'm going to show you the finished product of what I've actually made. So we're starting out at the top of the tower. I've got, I think, 3 or 4 floors to this. They're all pretty much identical, so they all look exactly like this. They're just going further and further down the actual tower itself. So when we reach to the bottom, we've got this little tiny hallway through here which we can't go through, so we're gonna have to crawl through, because once again the bug was still in where you couldn't go through the archways. I was gonna try and get that not sealed off, but it ended up not being very structurally sound, so I had to seal it off. Going further down here, this is where the original entrance to the castle was. Obviously this is a little tiny wooden house that I was building on the edge. I've put some little wooden stairs in as well, and yeah, just made myself a nice little peasant house as it was at the side of it. Going further up, we've got an upper floor with just a little bit of a landing here, I'm guessing. I don't know what I was thinking when I was making this. We've got a nice little hallway here with some, I think, fairly nice looking supporting beams as well from stone there. I was originally going to make a door into the tower there, but it ended up that it was on top of a stairway, so you'd end up dropping down, which wasn't really the best design idea. Up on top here, we've just got obviously the top of the roof where you can have arches and guards and other things like that. It's quite a nice big roof, not quite as tall as the tower, so the tower still has a purpose, but you know, I thought it was quite nice to have that up on the top and just have a nice big open space up there. If we go further down now, I will show you, what was I going to show you? Yeah, the bottom of the house again, just show you that there is a door that goes into the bottom of the house as well. Obviously there's no furniture at the moment, but you know, you can make that in the future. And we've got a nice little storage house out here, which I quite like, with the idea of the windows being further up and then having these huge sweeping bits coming down to let the light in. I quite liked the idea of that, and I thought it just gave it its own little bit of pizzazz rather than just a room where you put supplies. But yeah, that's the castle that I've made. If we go around the back very quickly, then you can see that I've just made a few little bits of supporting beams for the actual castle itself, so then it wouldn't fall down the hill, which for some reason it had a tendency to do every now and then, so you know, I've put those up there so it won't fall down the hill. And yeah, this is the finished product. I think it looks fairly decent. I quite like it. It's quite long and thin, which I would have maybe added a little bit more depth to it, but you know, I decided against it for some reason, and I just wanted to test out the projectiles here when I was doing this. But yeah, that's the castle that I have created. So that has been my video on building my very first castle. I hope you enjoyed. I will be doing another video where I destroy this castle, so yeah, stay tuned for that, and I shall see you in the next one. Cheers.